Every time, like it doesn't fade in on.
No, I want
my
lights.
faces.
Like I need more light stories now if we're gonna do these dances.
I told you I have. I just don't know. I
And I
just don't
can
haven't
open the
had.
show with them.
I haven't had the
Well,
money to. I haven't had the money for the shipping, but I have two more of these lights that I'm using right now, and I could send them to you, but I just don't have any money to send any to mail them. It's
no,
expensive.
don't worry about that.
Shipping
That's
is
not a
expensive.
priority at all. I don't need more stuff here right now anyway. I might be in transition myself. So,
Right? Yeah. Yeah. You're still looking at moving to Louisiana.
or somewhere. There or somewhere. We're losing a roommate, so it might
Hmm.
happen sooner than I anticipated if we can't find a replacement.
Well, you know, you always take a look at coming down here to Texas. I guess it's not bad. It's really not bad. I mean, I really have I don't have any. I have complaints about many things maybe in life, but I don't really have any complaints about living in Texas. It's not a bad place to live. That or Vegas wasn't too bad
Yeah,
either, but I've
I've
heard
lived
Vegas
in
has gotten a lot
Texas
worse.
before. I've lived in Texas before. My only complaints really were like the woke people in Austin,
Yeah, but Dallas doesn't like that. I mean,
the social
I've
justice
never.
and the
I mean, like,
snooty bougie people.
but there's also Austin's also full of lots
But
of
my friend told
dirty
me because
punks too.
they go to Austin all the time. She told me because I was describing Seattle to her. She said that is what Austin's turning into. All of those people are moving to Austin, and it's turning into what you're saying about Seattle,
Yeah, I've heard that too.
which is
Especially
everything that I'm trying to get away from.
especially since ever since like Joe Rogan and like all these other people moved there. But I mean, I don't know. It's where I guess Blair White recently. I guess she just talked about on her thing the other day that she'd moved to Austin recently from Dallas. She likes it down there. I guess. Other people like have. I mean, it's like if you're used to like an LA type lifestyle type stuff and but it's like less woke than that, then I guess that it's good. I don't know. Last time I was in Austin was like what 4 years ago when we I went and saw the Mineral 25-year anniversary show on Valentine's Day, and like so I mean it was I was only there for like one day. I haven't been there in any kind of extreme capacity. Dallas really did like a lot of things shut down here with COVID, and it's just really just now in the last year
Well,
opening back up. So.
yeah, my point is though, like you think there's places you can escape from, like escape all of this from, but I'm wondering like what the reach is. Is it larger than I realize that it's going to show up even in the places where I would think it would not? Like even if I go back to Louisiana, which my sister works at a school there, and she has no idea what DEI is. They never even heard of it. They don't do it at
Right.
all.
Yeah.
And so I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, good. That's a safe place. It hasn't hit there yet. It's free from that. But then how many little things am I going to start noticing? And it's going to be like in a horror movie. Oh no, it's here too. And Texas kind of reminds me of that. It sounds like a place that it's a refuge from, and then all of a sudden little signs of it start showing up inside of you.
It might. I haven't been. I mean, we haven't been out and about in the city much, since everything that's happened last few years. So like, I can't really speak to it much. I can say that like in the little, like at the hospitals and in the medical stuff, I haven't run into any of that stuff. I haven't run into any woke stuff at all. Actually, I mean, not in the real world.
You know what they have here that I ran into recently that like on the way into the doctor's office, they have a big poster in the hall before you walk in saying that aggressive behavior will not be tolerated. First of all, I mean, I've worked some of these front desk positions before in healthcare. These are sick people. These are the patients. You're there to serve them. They're not there to make your job easy and convenient and all that. But and it goes on. There's like some fine print on it. It's like we will determine what aggressive behavior is, tone of voice, violent rhetoric, or something. Like so, all these little like woke sounding, like where the women behind the desk get to determine that, like they get to tone police and we've determined you're being aggressive. You have to leave. We're not going to serve you today. You're not going to get to see the doctor. So now there's like this emotional or behavioral bar you have to meet, and it's totally at the whim of the office staff. And I've gotten fired from jobs before from working with the same type of women that interpret the tiniest little thing as threat or aggression, blah, blah, blah. So that's one thing new I'm seeing in healthcare that has even me worried, because I don't know if I'm even always going to be able to clear their bar. So now when I'm at my appointments, I'm not relaxed. I'm tense, worrying about if I move my hand the wrong way, are they going to find that aggressive?
I can say I have seen I have seen, I mean, I've seen the aggressive, I mean, like the kind of aggressive people, but I've never seen a sign like that. But I've seen like people
I got
actually go up
signs
to
here.
I've seen people actually go up to the counter at like the quick care, like in front of me or like or after me in line and stuff like that, and actually be aggressive like that, and like them get treated like, you know, with that typical Southern
Something
hospitality,
like that is
like, you
so
know.
subjective. Like, who gets to determine? There's no standard for it. It's basically, if I decide I don't like you or you get on my nerves for any reason, I can just find something to claim as aggression to invoke this
Sure, yeah.
policy.
Yeah, that's definitely. I mean, but I'm just saying, like most of the people, especially most of the nurses I encountered here, like I encountered tons of nurses, and they all have that Southern hospitality type charm. You know, they're all like, "Oh, come on,
Oh,
sweetheart. Oh, come on, darling."
that's
You
how
know,
it was back home. Like, I only encountered it up here because the environments back home, it was exactly like that. We didn't have this
yeah.
issue or even need these kind of signs.
They're like, "Don't worry, darling. Like, we'll get you taken care of. Just give me a second here while I
Oh,
get I
hey,
get to
come
like
on.
I guess get like let me get your ID, you know, so like that.
Yeah,
You know, like,
that's
they're
funny.
really nice. They're like I mean seriously, like the nurses at Parkland, like with when Lindsay was there with you know pregnant, and like when we were, you know, we were worried about like what the state was going to, like they were keeping her there, you know, until the baby was born and stuff like that. They were always so nice and so accommodating and charming and sweet. I never had a single like you know, even if Lindsay was you know in an off state or something like that. Even the cops are really nice, to be honest. Like whenever she was like
Yeah.
in like that fugue state type thing and she didn't understand what was going on and she was being really aggressive and fighting back, the cops weren't even like mad or anything. They were just like, can you help me kind of help hold her down? They were just like they were really
Some of the
kind of cool.
nicest cops I've ever experienced was like driving back and forth from Houston and getting
Yeah.
traffic stopped. Those are the nicest cops when they're stopping you to give you a ticket or check your trunk or something.
Yeah, no, I have, I've like I've said before
I feel like
on
I'm
the
getting like 5-star valet service from them.
I said it before on the show. I've said like the cops I've encountered here in Irving have been nothing but extremely kind. Like they like whenever that girl that was living here, whenever she went missing for like 4 days, and we
Ah,
called.
ah.
Oh, Paul, hey, what's
That's
up,
what's
man?
up.
Hello, guys.
How's it going?
It's going well. How did the conversation with Buck Angel go? Chris, I got your message.
It went good. It was way too short. Like, we were just getting started. Like, people got one or two questions in here or there, and they were just getting like starting to crack the surface.
Yeah,
But it was
but
a
it went
good
really
vibe.
well.
I think everybody, we had all the different viewpoints represented.
Buck Angel is like the archetype of the just nice person. It's like this. If you know, if we could just take the temperature down to that of just be respectful and not, you know, force me to use language that doesn't exist.
I think you do a good job too. I was impressed this morning with the show with some of your insights on centrism and versus far right extremism.
Yeah, the Christofascism. What do you guys think of the?
Do what?
What do you think of the Alabama?
I just found out about today. I had to look it up because of your show, so I'm just now catching up on it.
Me too. Actually.
Me and Lib were having a conversation yesterday about like, what is it, the Chevron ruling, where agencies, like the expertise of agencies, will carry more authority than the judicial branch. And this seems like the reverse of that, where the judicial branch gets to decide what science is or what expertise is. And that's what bothers me about this case is I don't want legal bodies or judicial bodies determining what an embryo is, what life is. Like, those are questions for science. And so to me, this is the opposite of the concern I had in my conversation with Liv, of the experts over influencing the judicial system. This is a thing where the judicial system is over influencing expertise. So that's my initial thoughts from just skimming the headlines about it. And yours today was from the religious point of view, which is the argument the court used to make their ruling.
Yeah. Well, that's what it.
That's the part to keep an eye on to me.
Yeah,
And I
and
keep saying these people are not threats, but then it shows up in something like this.
yeah, the Christo-fascists and Christo-nationalists are a very real threat.
You think they're threat? Like what level?
Well, like that. I mean, they literally said an
Yeah.
embryo is a child, which is like that means you could take an abortion pill in one state and that be legal, and then if you go to Alabama, it's as if you committed child murder. It's like, what kind of country are we going to live in where you're a child murderer in one state and you're completely fine? It's like that just is so.
That happens with weed too, and that's like,
Yeah,
I'm sure there's been issues before this where there was the disparity between the states that we eventually worked out through the.
yeah, but this one's even more consequential. Like the difference between a child murderer and a non-child murderer is like much bigger than just between a weed user and a non-weed user.
That's true. Yeah. No doubt about that.
But yeah,
I agree. Like I do know that there are some things that are criminalized in some states and not in others, and it's weird and it sucks and to be in one of the states and get thrown in jail for something that's completely legal in the state you live in. I just don't know historically how that gets resolved. No, Nemesis, not today. We have Paul is too high of a tier for the trolls right now.
Right.
So we're gonna respect his time and his presence.
Yeah, I'm only on here for a few minutes.
Well, his literally his MC Nemesis on X, Hitler was 88% right, is what it says on the private chat. So, I mean, that's why we're not.
In fact, you're not coming on at all. I'm kicking you right now. Okay, go on with what you were saying.
Are you still? I don't know, Chris. I don't know your perspective. I know Jeff's perspective. Are you still shilling for Israel, Jeff?
Yeah, we both are.
You both are shilling for Israel.
I don't
yeah,
believe,
because I think
once again,
I think you're overemphasizing and magnifying certain elements that don't represent, like they're out of proportion to the majority of Israelis in Israel, and it's causing a distortion in the lens.
I don't feel like I have enough information.
Because I noticed you did it today with Christian nationalism. It seemed like you were overemphasizing the threat of that as well. So I'm like, there's something about these right-wing fringe elements that get on his radar and cause like a greater reaction than I would have over.
It's the same reason that the far left elements get on my radar, because everyone was saying, oh, it's just a bunch of college kids concerned with pronouns.
No,
they got
I'm
blue
far
hair
more
and
worried about than the right, because I've seen more.
Yes, but you understand that from a lot of people's perspective, they would say, well, why are you concerned with this small group of college kids who are complaining about pronouns?
Because it's not. They're in all of the bureaucracies, the regulatory bodies, the administrations of corporations, university health, and I've seen the direct impact.
Right, and the ultra-nationalist Israeli fundamentalists are in coalition government with Benjamin Netanyahu, who himself is making biblical calls to genocide.
Yeah, he's wrong for that. But I don't see.
I don't think it's the whole state of Israel.
I don't see as much direct impact of that as I do the left people here in the U.S.
That's
like
fair.
What, and I don't think Benjamin Netanyahu has the support that wokeness has to entrench itself where it has currently.
That's fair.
That's why I see more. It's more of a broad, nameless, faceless, like blob threat, and these other threats are like single individual people whose influence is very contained, and I can see the.
I'm gonna do a champion spotlight on Benjamin Netanyahu, the Lord of Darkness will be his tagline.
Okay.
Yeah. What did you guys think?
I'm not saying he's not a bad person. I'm just saying he doesnn't represent the sum.
Yeah, that's fair.
That Israel is to me.
What did you think of the League champion spotlight for Jordan Peterson? Did it make sense? I'm assuming both of you have not played League.
I have not, but I did watch the video.
I can stream it today with your permission. I haven't watched it yet.
You can stream. I don't think you need my permission to stream anything. I guess I would get the copyright. I could issue a copyright strike on you, but
right.
Well, I'm curious because
I have you on record, given.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, you're on. Because I'm curious as to how it lands with people who like. I mean, have you both played video games a decent amount? generally.
Yeah, I never played League, but
Yeah,
I get it though. I get it. I used to play Marvel Snap a lot, and like a lot of the terminology is very similar. It's very similar with like champions and like heroes and stuff like that. So I get the basic general the gist of like what you're going for with it. I get it. I think it's very clever.
That's the goal. That's my goal.
Yeah.
Where it's like it has the League theme, which appeals to League players, but it's broad enough where people who are just familiar with video games can follow it.
Yeah, especially those kinds of games that have like or hero based games like Overwatch and. But yeah, it's very similar to Marvel Snap though. Marvel Snap is very similar. Yeah, you have that you can get the certain cards and you can like unlock them and then you use them in battles and so yeah, I get the whole thing. But yeah, the Jordan Peterson thing was good. I think I feel like I missed a couple of them. Like there was but I saw that one on my YouTube feed last night or this morning, whatever it was, and like I watched it and I thought it was pretty good fun.
Yeah, that's the only one I've done so far. The next one I'm doing is Vosh.
Oh yeah, I can't wait for that. The Vosh and the Netanyahu are the two I'm waiting for.
Yeah, the Netanyahu one I'm hesitant to do just because I know for a fact I'll put all this time and effort into it, and then it will get suppressed because you can't, criticize.
What about? I mean, you think Destiny's more entertaining one to do than?
I'll do Destiny. It'll probably be. I'm gonna do Vosh, and then I'll probably do Destiny right after that.
Are you doing Andrew at all?
Andrew Wilson?
Yeah.
Maybe he has to get to. How many subscribers is he at now?
You're doing the tier. You're going through your tiers.
No, I'm just picking whoever makes
so he's
sense.
not. Oh, okay. So wow. Okay.
Yeah, and if I gotta spend all the time doing it and editing and stuff.
He's hanging out with the whatever girls lately anyway. So
yeah, he's on the whatever podcast. So it's fine.
Weird.
Yeah. Well, that's his. Look, that's been his bread and butter since the beginning of like feminism and its discontents, as one might say. But
he does a good job there. I think that's one of his strengths. One of his areas of strength.
Do you guys know?
It's weird how connected he is to like this little corner of the internet that we're in. Like we have like this
half
whole,
the people here
we have this
through the Crucible.
Yeah, like
Jones,
the Machine Lies, Joshua Jones. Yeah, they're all like ex-Crucible debate members or whatever you want to call it. And like
I very much enjoyed my time in the Crucible. I'm still in it. I just don't really hang out there much.
Who would have thought that a gay Satanist would have a great time in the hardcore Orthodox Christian fundamentalists?
I'm having a ball. I don't want to leave.
Okay, actually, the last question, I've already asked this before. Do you think I say autist too much and call people autists too much? And do you take offense?
No, but you say it in a way that seems to exempt yourself from that or distinct. Like, so
I definitely don't want to do that. Trust me, if it's spectrum, I'm on it somewhere. No,
I don't have trouble with it at all. I'm glad the term is even getting out there into the Discord.
Yeah, I'm gonna do
my only criticism is that you don't pop in or say hi more often. It's too hard to get on. It's too hard to get on your show nowadays. So I mean,
no, it's not. It's easier to go on his show than it's ever been. He does call-ins almost every Saturday now.
Well, you guys stream at what? This is at 2 every day.
We do have one of our disgruntled trolls, iPhi, is trying to have a conversation with you, but he refuses to
show his face. I
don't like talking to people who aren't willing to show their face. If you're not willing to take the same level of risk,
that's the issue I've heard with you lately.
You're probably doing the right thing there, though.
Yeah, if you're not willing to take,
I mean specifically with iPhi.
Well, how did you say it today on your show?
Like
if you're not willing to own.
Yeah, if you're not willing to take as much risk as I'm willing to take by having the conversation, then it's not in my interest to have the conversation. And there's plenty of people who are willing to turn the camera on. It's also just like a practical thing of like, I don't want someone to come on and just shout the N-word or something like that because their camera's off, and now I have to take
I will vouch for our friend Lib.
Speaking
all right, guys, I gotta go. All right, everyone. Peace, guys.
You're really leaving? Oh shit!
Well.
I thought you drove off my guest.
Look what the cat dragged in.
Well,
man,
you just shoes to fill now. You did this to yourself.
By the way, if you ever need proof that some people are so cowardly that they will instantly run in fear.
No, we don't know that's why he left.
Oh, yes, we do.
I don't know
we know
why
for
he left.
scientific.
He's not running in fear.
He said he only had a few minutes anyway, so We don't know that he
Sure.
wasn't leaving before. So
I bet you
can't make
believe
assumptions.
everything you hear too, don't you, Jeff?
No,
I have
I
a
don't. I
I
don't
have a
believe
bridge to
this.
sell you in Brooklyn since you're that gullible.
So, hi, what are you here to talk about? Good morning. I see your voice is recovering.
I was gonna talk to your buddy there, but he's afraid to debate seashells. So
No, he didn't. He did you get his point about the camera and putting as much skin in the game as he does to have the conversation?
I only heard 5
And
seconds.
on his show this morning, he phrased it something like, "Be willing to own your words," and that's the way of owning your words.
Oh, so I'm not able to own my words because I don't
It adds a little
reveal
like
my
extra
face.
layer of.
I mean,
an
you can always
accountability.
put a balaclava on or something like that. You
Why-
can always
why
like,
don't-
cover your face. Like
I
I mean, like,
don't
what does it
care
matter?
that you're anonymous because I understand all the many reasons people might not be able to come on camera.
Answer Chris's question first, Jeff. See if you can answer that.
What's your question?
What
I'm
did
just saying
Chris say?
I it says you can put a ski mask or a balaclava or something, so you can put on something that
Well,
hides your
Joshua
face if you
Jones
don't want
put
to see
a
your
what you call it, like a COVID
Yeah.
mask on
Yeah.
and came on camera for a few minutes one day.
Okay, so why do I need to appear on camera if I'm just going to wear a ski mask
You
over my
don't
face?
for me. I was making his case.
I'm asking
I'm just saying
For-
that if
on
that's
his
if
show
that's his
why his
requirement, if
preference
you
is
really
camera.
want to talk to him that badly, if that's his requirement, then just put a mask on or something like that and go on camera for a minute. and you'll be fine.
Neurojack did it like in the dark as a silhouette. You couldn't almost see it. He had like a light behind him, everything. And
I just want to see if Chris
counted.
thinks this is being intellectually genuous or not. If your buddy
Probably
Carl
not.
Jung
I'm
was
saying
there.
if someone sets up that as a requirement, if someone says that like this is a requirement for coming on my show, which
Yeah.
we don't have here,
Right.
and you really
It's
want to go
his-
on their
it's
show,
his house,
then
his
there
lair.
are loopholes that you get around. I mean, it's not like you have to. It's not like you
don't
have
go
to go
there.
and show your whole face. You can just go on camera with something covering your face, and then you get to. And you can have a conversation. I mean, I don't see the big
Do you
deal.
think that's what he's waiting for? He's just waiting for me to put on a ski mask and then at least show a camera? Is that what he's waiting for?
Show camera. That's the like have your camera on or whatever the camera captures.
So how does that
least you're
support
on
the argument that
Well,
we're
if you want to
bringing?
get creative with that parameter, we could.
Okay,
test the
Jeff, I'm
boundaries of
still
it.
waiting for 1 ounce of genuine intellectual honesty. So you
Well,
just
that's
said
intellectually dishonest.
you
Hang
just
on, I
dishonest.
want to get. I want to give him that. There's.
You
I have
just said,
abundant
Jeff,
supply of it. So what?
his argument is that he wants the investment of skin in the game. So I have to back up my words with my
that's
face.
what his words were: be willing to take the same risk that he's willing to take.
What risk am I taking by
showing his
wearing a
face.
ski mask on camera?
Well, ask him that. I'm telling you what he said just a few minutes
I
ago.
think
before
you
come on.
are both slowly coming to the realization that it's complete bullshit, and that's why you don't even need to have that argument. That's the point, Jeff.
The face has to be completely visible. No ski mask. No balaclavas. No COVID mask, I guess.
Maybe not. Maybe
no
maybe
Mardi
he
Gras
would. Maybe
mask. No
maybe he
Mardi
would
Gras
accept it. I
mask.
don't
Hang
know.
on, I might have a problem with this policy too now. That's Cajun discrimination.
So I think you are coming to the realization, Jeff, that some people are cowards.
No, I'm going to tell you. I'm
Dishonest.
going to tell you what I'm coming to the realization to is that you, sir, are a drama queen. You have been a drama queen from the
Definitely.
day, the minute you showed up onto this show, and it's just
Yep.
different patterns of drama. And I, as an aficionado of drama, I kind of appreciate the art form of that.
Well,
art form in a way.
hopefully you like scientific evidence and logic and reason. So
But
today,
that's the lens I'm viewing everything about you through.
today I proved that your little buddy is a coward and
No, you didn't. You proved no such
disingenuous.
thing. There's no evidence of that. You're drawing a conclusion.
The second I showed up, he bailed out.
Evidence. You're
Proof.
you're connecting dots in your head.
Proof.
He did actually say he was going to leave anyway. He said he had one more question for us, and he asked that question, and then he left. So I mean, that's not actually
And
that.
being
okay.
the consummate comedian that he is.
Well, you just ask him when he's coming
moment of
back, and
opportune
I'll
timing that
save
he
some time
took.
for you, Chris. Just for you, buddy.
So did you have something substantive that you wanted?
No,
to
I
bring
just
up
wanted to
here?
prove that he's a complete
Is this
coward.
the example
and I did it,
of
so
the discourse he
thanks.
would have been treated to had he stuck around, or did you have something?
Yeah, I wanted to see if he had the courage to actually debate a seashell, which I proved he does not. And so that's
you already know he well, not on his show anyway.
This isn't his show, Jeff. This
Okay,
is
but I don't
our
want to
show.
have an hour conversation about this.
We-
Like,
we're not going
Do you
to.
have a topic you want to
I
talk
proved
about?
my point, so I'll leave you in peace. Goodbye.
Hey, Robert Escobar just asked you though. He said, "Why don't you show your face? Maybe you have a valid reason." So, like, what's your reason?
One, I don't want any crazy people on the internet knowing who I am.
That's a good enough reason.
And two, I don't want the government to know who I am. So,
Ooh, there's a story there. Spill.
so
Give us the tea.
if you caught last night's verbal combat, you probably can guess why I don't want my face on camera.
I caught a little bit of it, like in patches. I kept checking in with it.
I basically reminded a typical Republican useful idiot why their votes don't matter, and they started getting a little upset because they realized how right I am about everything I was saying. So the more you talk to me, the more you'll get all my government conspiracy stuff out. So that's why I didn't bring that up on your
That's
panel.
okay. Hey, dude, and
I
for what's worth,
appreciate it.
like you still sound a little hoarse and stuff. Like I understand. Like you
I'm completely hoarse. I can't talk.
yeah.
That's why.
Yeah, I get it, man. Like I really do hope. I really hope
Nobody
you get over-
pushes them so
you're
more
getting
than
over
you
that.
do. Like, I don't know anybody
yeah.
that's putting their.
Well, I
their
wanted to say
health
hi
on-
to your friend, but again, he lacks the spine or the courage to debate a seashell. So,
he's
unfortunately, you won't
I
ever
can't-
hear a
I can't
conversation
speak
between
for.
us
I
two.
can't speak for that, but he left.
You
for whatever
can.
reason,
He just
and
did on your show. Chris,
Make
next
him
time
look
he comes
good.
back on your show, give me a holler. We'll talk.
I will. I have no problem doing that.
And then
Yeah,
and then you both can prove me wrong. You could say, "See, iPhi, you were wrong. He does have the courage."
I have 2 points. One is a question, and one is an observation. And this is not a judgment; it's only an observation. There seems something childish or immature in your response to this, and
About what?
in your response to this, like this
To Jung?
your reaction, or just things in general.
What's childish on my part, Jeff? Why am I being childish by wanting to talk to him on a political talk show? But I can only use my real face. I can't use a
Now you made me
seashell.
forget my question. That was my observation.
You said
I
I'm
just
the
have to wait
childish.
for the question to
just
come
for
back
you,
around.
I'll message Paul later, and I'll see if I can't set up like a specified time for him to come on to an interview
Don't
type
bother
thing, and like
Paul. I can email Paul himself.
Okay, Chris, I accept your olive branch. So if you can prove me wrong, I will happily let you prove me wrong. The ball is in your court.
What would qualify as proof? What would qualify as proof to you?
5 seconds ago, when we were in the same room, if he would have hung around for 10 more seconds, he would have disproven me.
So all he has to do is be on a stream with you for
more than 5 seconds.
Seems so childish. I feel like
instead of running away like a scared little girl and screaming.
Playground.
Instead of running away like a scared little girl and saying, "Oh, the seashell's gonna get me."
Interpretation. That is all the story you tell yourself about what happened. All the rest of the world saw was you came on and he signed off.
Yeah,
we
Jeff.
don't know the reason.
We all see what we want to see, Jeff. We all see what we want to see, Jeff. You're right.
Yes, he did run, Jonathan. You're right. He did run, but it was funny. It was funny when he ran, so I'll give him credit for that. It was
you told us what you want to see in it, and we can move on because Chris and I don't have an issue one way or the other.
Well, for what it's worth, if you caught last night's VK, you'll understand that engaging me in the long discussion can be dangerous. So that's why I do need to set up my own channel.
Dangerous? Ooh, I'm so scared. Dangerous how?
I don't want to get your channel shut down. So that's why I don't talk about certain topics. So anyway,
you don't want to get what? Oh, my channel.
Yeah.
Did you shut down their channel? Is RoboCombat is Speakeasy's channel shut down now?
It might if certain conversations keep going.
Well, then no, I do appreciate you're not risking it here.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I specifically just said. But anyways,
okay.
I don't even want to get his channel shut down. So I don't mind getting my channel shut down because that would again prove my point. That's the point of my channel, is to get it shut down. So we'll
To
see.
like test the limits of what you
We'll
can
see. We'll
say
see
on it.
what we're allowed to talk about and not allowed to talk about in this country. That's what
Okay.
my
Yeah,
channel's for.
I'm game. I applaud your doing this.
But again, I can't talk worth a shit right now, so I haven't even started my channel yet. So I need time.
Maybe
Anyways,
there's some AI software that can compensate.
I will go ahead and spoil some of the early episodes for you. So Flo got my attention about the whole left right wing problem. We need to discuss
Right.
that first. Dave and I can probably debate some like centrism and libertarianism bullshit because he doesn't even know what that is yet. I'll have to educate him before we can debate it. And then I was hoping to kind of get into it with Sarah about like spiritual topics and stuff like that.
Where's the limit pushing stuff? That's what I was waiting for.
Everywhere. It's everywhere.
Oh, so within these topics, there's going to be parts of the conversation that is you're going to test what you can say on YouTube.
Exactly. So once I get into the political stuff, we will be talking about the Kung Flu on my channel. So I know you don't want to talk about it here, and I
mean,
know
they
why.
do talk about it here, but I've been told that it runs different risks, so I try to.
I know, Jeff. That's why
I haven't personally had
up.
an issue yet with it, with people talking about it.
And
we're not a medical channel. We're entertained. We're just ordinary people from the streets.
And we'll be talking about like deep state stuff and stuff like that, which I had to stop myself on VK because I don't want to get his channel shut down. So I just carefully worded my sentences.
That's very virtuous for you.
But anyways, but we will be hurting people's feelings and insulting people. So on my channel, I don't give a shit about feelings or anything like that. So we're going to speak truth. And very less drama. There's going to be a lot less drama on my channel.
I'll get a sticker. I want to be around to see it. I want to be around to see the drama-free iPhi channel.
Oh yeah, it'll be great.
You are the drama. You are the drama on our channel, though. Like, I mean, like, what's the
well, Chris, does that say something about me, or does that say something about you?
The drama on every channel right now.
Does that say something
how does that
about
say?
me?
How does it say something about? How does it say something about us whenever like the drama is only there whenever you're around?
Well, Chris, if I want to talk about good and intelligent people and I'm creating drama, what does that say about the audience and the panel?
So you're disrupting when you find people that don't meet your standards of goodness or intelligence. You just disrupt until you.
Well, you're welcome to debate my.
That's what I'm talking about. Childhood. That's like a very
no, Jeff.
strategy.
No, Jeff. This is how
something a toddler would use.
No, Jeff. This is how adults talk to each other.
No,
when we disagree with each other,
when they don't get their way or what they're looking for, they don't ruin it for everybody else. That is when the adult thing is learning not to do that and finding more pro-social ways of managing those feelings.
When we disagree with each other, we attack each other's ideas and words. We say the reason why your ideas and words are incorrect is because X, Y, Z. That's how adults talk to each other, Jeff.
Right. So what's the part about disrupting it?
The childish part is when you only allow one side of the argument to speak, and then when the opposing team shows up, you say things like, "Oh, iPhi, you do all the talking. You never shut up. You never give anyone else a chance to talk." Even though I said
the opposing team is called iPhi, or you were the only one on the team.
Yes.
Okay, so you've cast yourself in the role of victim.
I am the only right-wing person who has ever appeared on your channel. So that's
no,
the only...
Joshua. No, you're not. By far, you're not.
Joshua who?
Joshua Jones was practically irregular. He was practically a third co-host for a while.
I've never seen him on this channel ever before.
Yeah,
that was before your time.
The older.
Oh, okay.
That's before he got triggered or had his freak out or something.
I'll happily meet
you
this
were
person.
Like to the right of even him.
Probably. That I could argue with him. So there you go, Jeff. See, sometimes
I'm surprised you haven't seen him around.
Strayed from your original point.
I think I met him one time on, I can't remember whose panel it was. Maybe it was Machine Lies or something, or Flow State. I can't even remember. It was so long ago.
Yeah, I agree. I don't even know if he's talking in riddles because even the riddles are not making
It
sense.
was only because Hank wanted me to talk to him that one day, and then Josh got mad and left. He was like, "Who is this guy?" and left.
Oh, so it wasn't just me.
Yeah, you're right. It's not just you, Jeff.
Yeah,
There's
I
other
said it
people
was
that
his
disagree with
pattern because it was happening with other people too. It wasn't just about me.
And even though, like neurotic Jack is also kind of right wingish, he has his own problems to deal with, and
Well,
so
we all do. I mean, which one of us here is your like ideal human without flaw,
or
problem, or anything,
Flow
including
State,
yourself?
Emperor Dave, and possibly Sarah. I'm still talking
See,
to her.
but I think have you ever been diagnosed with borderline? Because I noticed
Nope.
this tendency of you to get very story-eyed about people really
Nope.
quickly and then let down by them.
Nope.
Which is that idealization, devaluation
Nope.
characteristic they observe in borderlines.
Nope. The only thing wrong with me is Kung Flu, and that's not a mental problem.
Okay, well, maybe take this to somebody and get their take on it, because that you have extreme patterns
Extreme of what?
falling in and out of infatuation with
I'm
different people.
bipolar. Is that what you're trying to say, Jeff?
Borderline, BPD.
So, like one
And
minute,
I am not. I am not like I have no ability to even pretend to be diagnosed. I'm just noticing. I'm noticing something about you, and then I'm assimilating it to a trait in this diagnosis that is very similar to what I'm observing and describing about
well,
you.
I was diagnosed by Paul Enslaved as being passive aggressive and needy, so
I
perhaps
don't
I
think
do
you're
need to see a
passive aggressive.
psychiatrist.
Needy, yes. I don't think you're passive aggressive at all. Well, you are in a way, in where you hijack the streams with your little drama fits when things don't go your way. That's
There it is again, Jeff.
I
Remember
don't
when I
find it
talked
very
about the
passive.
childish parts that make up bullshit that's not true? That's the childish parts.
Well, no, that's exactly
something
what
that
you
pretty
do.
much everyone comes to the table
All people
agrees
have
with,
to
though.
do to see it is go watch almost any stream you were on. I'm not
Yeah.
saying
Go
anything
back
that's
to the
not
streams. Go back to the recent streams on Jeff's panel where iPhi talked for like 3 seconds and then you immediately accused him of hijacking the stream, hogging all the airtime.
Okay, I do want to give you your props. Like you have moments like even today where you do exhibit exemplary model behavior. So it's not. I'm not saying you're like a child. I'm just saying when some of the behavior seems more on the childish side, but you definitely have very impressive adult behavior as well.
I try.
Now we have a different issue. Machine, last time I let you on, you cursed out me and my guest. So
I didn't curse anyone out.
no, I'm talking about Machine. He's backstage wanting to
Oh.
come on. My inclination is no.
That's between you and him.
Because I
That's
don't
not
want a
me.
repeat of the last time from anybody.
I
And it's
don't-
nothing personal. It's anybody that comes on and does that is going to get the same reaction.
I don't speak for anyone else. I just speak for iPhi.
We're not saying you speak for anyone else.
Okay. So
I was
anyways,
talking to Machine, who was backstage, but he's gone.
Jeff, sometimes I do employ a little drama for the theater that we're performing here. So I guilty as charged, but I'm not a drama child.
Look,
or anything.
I'm a fan for one. I like your
But
style.
I do come off as an asshole sometimes when certain people in the room because of the non-stop propaganda that occurs on some people's panels. And so
Well, yeah, but you do sound in control of it all. So like whatever you're doing at any moment, it's something you're choosing to do at that moment. And you have the ability to choose other options at any given time.
So that's why when I go on other people's panels, they don't like it when I question their sacred cows. So I understand everybody has their little comfort zones and their echo chambers and stuff. So I'm not here for that. I'm here to disrupt.
If you don't find the good in intelligent people.
I'm here to disrupt for the sake of truth, not for the sake of trolling. I'm not trying to get under people's skin just to annoy them.
Why don't you just, instead of disrupting, because that does seem more like a passive aggressive.
I tried.
Why don't you just shift the conversation? Like, hey guys,
I tried.
talk about this instead.
I tried the peaceful route, Jeff, and no one was interested. They need the drama.
I've had many conversations with you about topics that you've suggested.
Well, a lot of our conversations don't stick long enough for like 3 weeks later. That's the main problem, Jeff.
Yeah. Well,
sometimes I have to remind you for the third time what we've already covered 5 previous times.
You know, because you're not the only person like person's thoughts that I'm keeping track of.
That's fair. I don't expect you to know all the details, but you probably should know the basics by now, what each person represents.
So, like, are you saying that I didn't pay attention to you and I repeated something you told? That seems very narcissistic.
Oh, yes.
Narcissistic reaction.
Many times.
Okay.
And so that's why I don't hold you accountable, Jeff, because I understand your attention span is.
Well, you know, I
shorter than
hear
others.
a lot of stories all day long and a lot of topics about a lot of things.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
it's
and you're
kind
a
of all
host.
just one big topic swirling around in my head like the
And
weather.
you're the host of a many people show, so I don't expect
Right.
you to remember each and every
Okay,
one's details.
So, I mean, the curious part of me is like wanted to know what in particular you got offended that got repeated, but the probably healthier part of me doesn't care.
Exactly. That's
It's
why
taking your information as noted, and then we can go on to the next topic.
Jeff, you've never
But-
hurt my feelings. Don't worry about it. You've never hurt my feelings ever.
No, but I've triggered your vanity
Nope.
or your narcissism.
Nope. Don't have any
Well,
of that
that's
either.
That's what it sounds like. Is I didn't pay enough attention to your words to not repeat them.
Jeff,
3 weeks
I think
later.
Jeff,
So
here-
watch out, y'all.
Allow me
Hey, Cynthia.
allow me 2 cents of advice. Don't confuse confidence with arrogance. Those are 2 different concepts. So,
Sometimes.
I think that you would do well to
Sometimes a fuzzy
remember
line.
the same thing.
yep. Oh, I do. That's why I just gave the advice. I practice what I preach.
But everyone that encounters you perceives as arrogance and not confidence. So
That's fine. I'm not worried about
I don't-
convincing everyone in the world to share my views.
You said you were here for truth, and
Yep.
every time there's an opportunity to do that,
Yep.
you take it down to something like not truth related and more.
That's the problem, Jeff.
So you say one thing, but then when you actually start doing conversation, it turns into something else. And like I said again, choices, decisions, conscious will.
No, Jeff. We
intentional
were on the same page, but now we've left again.
Okay, where did we get lost? Because
you're trying to sell my words as some sort of subjective bullshit that it's only true in my eyes or something like that.
Now I don't know what you're talking about. You lost me completely.
Okay, so when I talk about truth, I'm talking about objective truth that is true.
Right. So you were here for that. What form did you expect that to take here?
I start
what you came for. We aim to please.
I start with philosophy, and then I branch into politics, and then I eventually get to religion.
Okay, we can. I have a minor in philosophy. We can start with philosophy.
Okay.
Where would you like to start?
With axioms. What are your axioms of truth, Jeff?
My epistemology.
Yeah.
I empiricism. Although I'm more of a phenomenologist, logic, reason, intuition, aesthetic sense, cognition, induction, deduction, things like that.
Okay, I can work with those. Do you believe in objective truth, or is all truth subjective?
It depends on what you mean by truth or what kind of truth, because I've noticed people use the word truth for many different things.
Would you like a Google definition or what?
Sure, whatever definition you want to use for this conversation.
I mean, you can use your AI bot.
While you're getting that, I'm gonna grab a refill. I will be
okay.
right back.
The quality or state of
while
being
I'm gone.
true. According to Google, it's the quality or state of being true. That's such a useful definition. By the way, here's another pro tip. If you ever have to define a word and you look it up in the dictionary and it uses the word in the definition, it's retarded. That doesn't help you understand the word any better.
That is actually true. Yeah.
Because I used to debate butthurt atheists about nature, and they would ask me what nature means, and then they Googled it, and inside the definition of nature, it said natural things. it uses the word in the definition, which doesn't tell you anything. It's like, okay, what's natural then? It's nature stuff.
Yeah, that's been brought up a lot since the what is a woman controversy type.
Yeah,
stuff came out.
exactly.
Yeah.
That's
Like the
like defining a woman. Well, a woman is a woman. Duh.
A woman is anyone who identifies as a woman.
Yeah.
What?
What's a
Yeah.
woman then? How do you identify as a woman? It's a woman if you identify as one. Yeah, that's now you understand. Now you understand why I'm so cranky when I enter a room full of these retards, and that's all they're doing is just making noises back and forth at each other. And then I go like, "Hey guys, have you tried not being retarded? Here, let me give you some advice. Properly define your terms. Don't use the word you're defining in the definition, and then maybe you'll make some progress. Who knows?" But then I'm arrogant and I'm a child. I'm acting childish. I'm hogging all the airtime.
You come across very arrogant, dude. I mean, I'm sorry, you do.
I'm proud to be confident of my knowledge. I'm okay with.
Okay.
I don't care if people perceive me as arrogant because again, I go on with my life. I don't.
Yeah,
worry
I think
about
that's healthy
perception.
not to care how people perceive you. I'm kind of the same way.
Okay. Now
So
we're
the
on the same
Google
page, Jeff.
definition of truth, that's where we were headed.
Yeah. Okay, so the quality or state of being true. Does that help, Jeff?
Okay, then what is true? Come on, get us past all this. You know better.
You asked for the definition, so I gave it to
No,
you.
you suggested starting at the definition. That's the only reason I asked for it, is because you proposed it.
Okay. Here's iPhi's definition. Truth is the shit that exists when everyone stops believing and everything stops existing, and that is still there.
You have a contradiction built into your definition. It's the thing that exists when everything stops existing.
Yeah. So like
let's get. I don't know. Or do we have to go with the iPhi definition, or can we get something of?
So for
a little
example,
more clarity to
like
incoherent?
if you said trees are true, and then I light the tree on fire and it turns into smoke and it's gone, then the tree's not true.
I'm
what
reading
was true
Frank's
is
comments at the same time.
Well, and then carbon would be true then. In that case.
carbon is true, Chris, and so there's your definition of truth. Objectively.
Okay,
true.
Okay, this is a perfect example. As usual, it started with.
See, Chris knows the answers. That's why I talked to Chris.
Hang on. Let me say what I'm trying to say.
Okay,
you started out with "I'm here for truth." That starts with philosophy. I said, okay, that sounds good to me. Let's start with philosophy. Where are we going? And then you start with what is truth, and then it gets on this weird tangent that has nothing to do with the destination I thought we were going to. It's some like dirt back road side track to the trailer park out in the wilderness than anywhere I thought we were going to get when you started wanting to talk about philosophy.
And yet it took Chris 3
and
seconds.
now we're on
to
trees
agree.
burning into smoke, and is the smoke true? That's what we went from philosophy to that.
We went from philosophy into more philosophy, Jeff. We never left philosophy.
I trust my sense of philosophy and philosophical
Jeff,
background to
if you don't listen to iPhi, do you listen to Chris?
Comfortably suggest that was not philosophy, or if that was philosophy, you're going to have to connect.
Hey Jeff,
philosophy
if you don't listen to iPhi, do you listen to Chris, your co-host?
Sometimes when I
sometimes.
Okay. Did you hear the part where he just agreed with iPhi and we agree? We're on the same page.
Let's talk about philosophy. That's where you wanted to start.
We just did.
You one more time, and then my brain's going to be burnt out.
Okay, Jeff. One more time. Either words have meaning or they don't. So which path do you want to take?
It depends on what you mean by meaning.
Oh shit! Here we go.
So, but was that the philosophy you want to talk about?
No, let's talk about what is Jeff, because words don't have meaning.
Because you started with truth, epistemology.
So, Chris, now do you see why iPhi gets angry so quickly and so arrogant?
Yeah, but it seemed like self-frustration because you're not able to take the conversation where you want it to go. And I would get frustrated too. In fact, that happens to me a lot. I get frustrated.
Okay. Let me try.
You'd have to break truth down into a few different categories. There's like
just tell us what you want to talk about. That's it. You just give us one sentence of a topic.
Okay, Jeff. Do you understand mathematics? Do you
Is
know
that
what
the
math
topic
is?
you want to talk about? Mathematics?
Sure. Yes. Yes.
Okay.
It's a branch of
What
philosophy.
about mathematics?
Okay, so mathematics is the most simple form of truth when discussing philosophy. It's logic. It's pure logic.
Okay. Well, I to me, logic is a little bit separate from mathematics. So do you want to talk about logic?
Yeah, let's do logic. Okay,
All
so one plus one equals 2. Is that true or false, Jeff?
It's true within that system of
No, it's true.
sense making.
Objectively true. It doesn't depend on any system. It's just true. Period.
So then you're talking about the mathematical equation 1 + 1 = 2.
Yes.
Is what I'm talking about. If you're talking about you have two rocks,
Yes.
and whether there's any humans around or not.
Yes. Yes.
Two rocks. Okay,
That's it, Jeff.
Two separate types of truth I'm talking about. That's why I'm
No,
saying when
it's the same
want to start
truth.
talking about truth, it gets very thorny very quickly.
No, Jeff, it's the same
shades
truth.
into so many definitions.
No, Jeff, no. There's no gray area.
Yeah, we
here.
just got an example of two.
No,
right?
no, it's not
Back to
gray.
back.
It's still the same objective truth. You never left the same. You're still on the same word, Jeff. It's the same
Okay,
word.
then connect them to me, because to me they look.
I just did. I just did. It's objectively true that 1 + 1 = 2.
Connect the equation, the symbolic equation, with two rocks. Let's say on the moon, where there's not even any humans around.
It doesn't matter what example you pick, because they're all.
Show me that they're the
objectively
same. What's the larger category that they're both referring to that you're calling truth?
Logic. The larger
Okay,
category
you've
is
lost
logic.
me. I made my attempt, and you've lost.
Logic
me.
applies to all
logic
reality.
is what we started with the 1 + 1 = 2 thing.
So that's an axiom of your
I
truth
found
claims.
if there was like a philosophy police, I would report you right now. I would call philosophy 911 and say there's somebody abusing philosophy.
And they would agree with me. iPhi is correct. That's what objective truth means. That's what objective truth means. That's what that word means. It's true, because even if Jeff doesn't believe,
you lost me with logic versus the two rocks, but it all turns out to be logic.
It is the two.
Are you an idealist? Are you saying you're an idealist over materialist?
Yes.
Frank, I thought you were leaving, and please take me with you.
Okay. So now that we have the definition, now we can debate the word, Jeff. That's how you do.
I was about to wrap up this conversation, actually, because you were not able to take it anywhere.
Well, Chris,
we went from logic and the two rocks as two different types of truth to being all logic. So I'm trying to understand if that means like that's the idealist point of view, where everything is subsumed under mental truth, or if you're a materialist where the physical. But knowing your spiritual background, I'm going with idealist. So it's all part of the divine creation.
We're nowhere near religion yet, but okay. So logic, some people can logic, some people can't. I think we established that.
Some people can articulate and some people can't.
Yep. Some people
I still can't make sense of what you're saying, and you're not helping me clear it up.
Oh, okay. Well, I tried. I tried in English.
Even understand the problem in it. I'm trying to point out.
I tried in English.
I think in your mind it's still clear.
And I tried in mathematics.
When you articulate it, it comes out fuzzy because it's still fuzzy in your own mind. You haven't fully articulated it to your own self.
So I tried in English, and I tried in mathematics, and I tried in pure philosophy.
But do you understand what the issue is? Like using mathematical equation as an example of truth, and then using two rocks as an example of truth. To the people to whom those look like two different things, you're trying to say they're not. They're all one version of something called truth, but you can't show us what that larger version thing is.
Oh, I did. I just said that the same.
All you said was there's objective truth, but you're not for the minds of people that are seeing two things. You're not connecting those two things into one. You're just saying that they're one, but you're not showing the connection of what you.
I mean, like there's already an inherent like logical dilemma based on that. Okay, so like one rock and another rock, that's two rocks. But what if you have one rock and you split it in two? Now, do you have two rocks or do you have two halves of the same rock?
And then you split them down to carbon atoms.
That's all
I'm saying, but according to your mathematical example, which one is true? Is it two rocks or is it two halves of the same rock? Is it both?
is
Because if it's
magic.
both, then the mathematical truth has
What
flexibility in it, and if it's only one or the other, then which one is it?
we already answered this, Chris. Remember iPhi's definition of truth?
I know about the
No,
carbon thing.
your definition of truth made no sense. We tabled it. We're not even using your definition.
Let's see if
Why-
let's
you
see if
can't
Chris
keep coming
agrees.
and resting your arguments on it.
Let's see if Chris agrees. What was my definition again, Chris?
Frank, y'all watched the second season. I'm
Okay.
still lost in the first season. I didn't understand any of it, or even
So
not
this
even
is-
what I watched.
I mean,
So-
I'm not. I mean, I think.
Hang on.
I said carbon is true. I said carbon is
All right.
true, and you
Frank,
said that was
talk
true.
to me on Discord.
There you go. That's the answer, Chris. So
Carbon is true. So okay, so carbon is the truth, and that's your ultimate truth. Is that
if you have two carbon atoms, you have one carbon atom plus one carbon atom equals two carbon atoms, correct?
right?
So we're
But
still objectively true. The definition never changed.
Yes, but as life and as matter gets more complicated,
I don't
things
care
become-
about we can complicate anything.
I might be able to give us a shortcut to bridge us over this.
No, I don't think we can, Jeff.
Well, give me a chance. Just give me this chance to attempt.
Okay,
it.
let's try again.
I do that with you a lot.
Okay.
Now you made me forget my shortcut. When you're talking about there's objective truth, and you mean there's things like two rocks and they make three and all that, and it's all out there. I can grant you that, and we can be on the same page. Yes, there's something similar to all that we're talking about that's called objective reality, and then we can get to the next part of where you want to go with this.
Yep. So once you define your terms,
I'll grant you objective reality, and
then
let's
you
take
can
it from
debate
there.
them. I agree. Okay. Now that we have objective reality, we also have objective truth, because anything that accurately describes reality is truth. That's the definition.
That's your definition. I can go with that definition if we keep it consistent. We stick to that as the definition.
Okay. That's all I was saying.
So anything that accurately describes that this objective reality that we both agreed exists.
Yes.
Anything that describes that.
Yes.
You're calling truth.
Yes.
Sounds reasonable.
Okay. Yeah, I can go with that.
Okay. So now we're done with philosophy. We've already established
the progress you can make when you did it. You don't have
Jeff.
to use those other
I'm
tactics.
glad we finally agreed on something. I feel better now. We have one thing we agreed on.
We should celebrate. This is a milestone.
I think you should take a screenshot of this moment and hang it on your wall and say, "This was the moment iPhi and I agreed on."
Frank says I need something back there though. It would look weird. It would be too meta to have a picture of the stream.
Okay, now let's talk about mental health, and this is where Chris is really.
Yeah,
Okay, Chris. So the other day I was in here and you and I had a disagreement, and I addressed you as being an asshole. Do you remember that conversation? You're roboting.
Sorry about that. Yeah, am I still roboting? Am I roboting?
Now you're clear.
Okay. I vaguely remember. I don't exactly.
Okay, I accused you of being an asshole because you were passively aggressively undermining my speech about the wonders of capitalism. And so the reason why I snapped at you is because I had warned you on a previous occasion that if you claim to be a capitalist and then you lie about it, and then later at another time contradict your own words and then disagree with your statement that you're a capitalist and in fact support socialism, that makes iPhi angry. And I don't like dishonesty. I don't care if you have a different point of view. I just care that you're consistent. So as long as you consistently are a communist or socialist or whatever, that's fine. I don't get mad at Lib because he's inconsistent. I get mad at him because he's full of bullshit, but that's a whole different problem. But
that's in your opinion, he is.
Chris, claim to be a capitalist, and then whenever I talk about capitalism, you always add these little snide remarks about what garbage capitalism is and why socialism is actually better. And so that's what pisses me off.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Okay,
I don't remember ever saying a
I
single
think
thing.
it's the ideological purity police.
we were talking about public roads versus
This makes
private
it like
roads.
this makes me want to live in his little community even less. If this is how he's gonna.
We were talking about public
I
roads
said that.
versus
I said that.
private roads.
I do think capitalism has flaws. I think it has.
Of course
I think
it
has
does.
failings.
Of
And
course it does.
I pointed out like a failing of a capitalist system. Even I said that sometimes private roads could be just as fucked up as public roads. I didn't say that they're all that those two things are always true. It's the same reason I don't think that in all cases private roads are always better than public roads. I was just simply pointing out that there are cases where both things can be untrue, and I do tend to I tend to fall towards the capitalist side, but that doesn't mean
Speaking
that
of capitalism.
Yeah, there you
We're
go.
working
Please,
on it, Frank.
please, Frank.
We gotta get up to 500. So tell all your.
I'll do it.
get
I'll
our
do a
followers
dollar. That a dollar works for me, Frank.
to ban you to ban your own self.
Yes, yes.
We
and
can
I'll
work
pay
out
it.
I'll work out something with you.
I'll pay
I
it
can make
too.
that happen. Like I said, we want you to get what you come for here.
So Chris, I would ask you, what do you think the point you were contributing in that conversation was when iPhi was trying to preach about the wonders of capitalism and you were undermining it with socialism?
I wasn't underwriting it was socialism anyway. I was just simply saying that it is not true that in all cases private roads are better than public roads. That's all I said.
Your
It's like I'm saying
wasn't
just
true.
because you were saying that like look at private roads and how much better they always are, and I was like that's not always the case.
Hey, Chris, did I ever make the claim that all private roads are perfect and all public roads are
You were
bad?
doing so good. Did you see all the progress you just made with the philosophy conversation? Why don't you use the same approach on this?
We're still having.
It was a proven success.
We're still having the conversation.
And now you're dragging it back down into the mud.
You perceive a conversation as a disagreement.
It seems petty and it seems vain.
Is it petty, Chris?
Like
is what I'm saying petty?
narcissism.
Am I being narcissistic?
It seems a little.
It seems pretty petty narcissistic.
That's just
it seemed like at the time too, because I wasn't even saying that capitalism was bad or socialism was better. I was saying that your specific example of public roads versus private roads was a flawed argument for
Besides,
capitalism.
we live in a mixed economy. Chris is the product of a mixed economy. Of
is
course,
it flawed
sometimes
because
he's
you were
going to
strawmanning my argument and
capitalism,
saying that I said it was perfect?
He's going to see the benefits of a socialist.
You said, look at how much better private roads are than public roads.
Generally speaking, Chris, generally, not 100% of the time, most of the time.
That's not how you phrased it that day, though.
It's not how you phrased it, yeah.
Do I have to phrase it that way?
And the good thing is it's all on record. That's what I love about these streams.
Chuck, do I have to specifically say that it's what I'm saying is only true 100% of the time or it's false? Do I have to say that every time I talk about anything?
I don't know.
Well, clarity leads to better understanding.
Okay, was Chris looking for clarity or was he just trying to undermine my conversation?
No, he was just pointing out that it could be one way or the other.
Oh, now I see, Chuck. Chris wasn't undermining.
Hang on, iPhi.
He was looking for clarity.
Hang on. Read the description of the stream that you are on. It says an unsafe space. You're coming here for something that we don't provide. If you can't handle getting your feelings hurt or like whatever you think, having your words undermined by Chris or whatever, this is not your space because we don't guard against that here. It's gonna happen.
Okay, Jeff. It would take
for what it's worth, I had no intention
exactly. You're looking for a safety
undermining.
bubble, and this is not going to be your safety bubble.
Jeff, I had no intention of undermining your concept of capitalism being superior socialism. I was simply pointing out
even if he did,
there you go, Chris. But that's the way I perceived it. Was I wrong, Chris? Was I mistaken in what you were? Were you really seeking clarity, but you weren't contradicting what I was saying? Perhaps it was my fault.
I was having
That's
a
what you
conversation.
said
I
it
wasn't
was.
thinking about that much even.
Yeah,
But
I
you
didn't
know,
even
it's
take
like,
it as a disagreement that
yeah,
day.
I don't
I
even
just
know what you're talking about. I don't even
I
remember.
So-
I barely remember this. I barely remember this. This apparently I've been living rent free in his
remember.
brain a lot longer than me.
Well,
But
Chris,
I
I
barely remember this.
apologize. I apologize for listening to your words and giving them value. So that was my fault.
Oh my god. Oh, I think I'm
looking
done for
for
right now. I'm gonna go get
disagreement where none
I'm gonna go get
exist.
some ice for something to drink. So
Exactly.
How are
So
you doing
let's move
today?
on and
What's
pretend
going
like
on
it
with that?
never happened. Good.
Hey, we're
good
gonna
chat,
take.
guys.
We just need a break from. We need some variety. So I want to hear about what's going on in Chuck's world.
In my world, I have no
or if you have
idea.
a topic you want to talk about.
I did, but I done forgot it now. I got lost in the other. Oh,
Okay,
he
wait.
ran off.
Prediction. He signed off. Now he's going to be in the chat, crying and complaining about what didn't go right on the panel and what I did wrong and what I need to do next time and how. Every time the pattern.
He's taking a.
Because I took the topic off of him because he's had it for. We're just over an hour. He's had it for most of that. I took the topic off of him and tried to put it onto somebody else, and now he's a victim as was treated unfairly.
He's taking a conversation and trying to make a disagreement out of it.
I don't understand why somebody, if they have the ability to have the type of conversation he just had 10 minutes ago, would make their dominant approach something so self-sabotaging. When you clearly have the option to do differently.
Well, I call it condescending. Might be the wrong word. To prove that I'm so much better, smarter than you are. I could be wrong. Because I like iPhi. Hell, I like just about everybody. But when you get up there to make an argument or make a point and you shoot yourself in the process, shoot yourself in the foot, then you lose all value of the conversation.
Yeah.
It's like what you were saying earlier about starting off good and then regressing to a childlike approach.
Like he has this spectrum of approach like that he could take. And he seems to somewhat be able to will where he is on that spectrum. And people have said that about Tommy too, and they've noticed that like Tommy has way more control of his behavior than people think he does. And so if iPhi has the ability to navigate and place himself wherever on the spectrum of coping or communication skills that he has, why would he not take the optimal range of expression every time? Why would he put himself at this lower level if he has the option to put himself at a more effective level? I guess that's the big question that we need iPhi to answer one day for us, but maybe not today. Take a break if you need one.
Yeah, some people just confuse me. I try my best, and I'm not the brightest bulb, but you lose your argument.
They've been confusing me my whole life. And I used to think like a lot of that's the autism, but I think even without the autism, that people are confusing.
It's just like you said, here's the floor, tell us what you want to talk about. And we spent 30 minutes dancing in a big circle to get nowhere.
Yeah. Well, I don't know what kind of childhood he had or what kind of how he grew up and that kind of stuff. So
I mean, he does seem like an
what's going on behind all of that. What issues
he does seem like an intelligent individual.
But this is all he sounds like, though. Anytime he talks to anybody, is he goes, "All right, So let me talk to you like you're a 5-year-old."
Like we need to give him his credit. He just demonstrated a normal, productive conversation, and he has demonstrated
he did. What was productive about that conversation?
Behavior and consideration. He's shown all of that. That's what I'm saying. He has shown all of that. So if you can show that, why would you not try to show that as
Where was the production
show all like?
part?
Why would you show your ass all the time if you could show like this handsome face?
Well, Jeff, let me explain it to you like you're an actual child, okay? Let me use smaller words so you can possibly understand the greatness of my thoughts, okay? Let's go like this. Let's start off with how iPhi never actually makes any real points, but he
I have noticed that.
he
I
really
have
likes
noticed
the
that a little
sound of
bit.
his own voice.
So it's
He
his
really
style, like
does.
his deportment or how he comes across. But there's so I guess I'm used to that, and people say that about me sometimes too. So it just doesn't bother me as much.
You
as
never
it
see
does.
you.
Chris,
I've
put
never
that
once.
in English?
I've
The
never
thing
once
that
heard any
frustrates
close to
me
that.
is how we start down this like wide paved road, and all of a sudden we're in the woods on some little trail somewhere. Look where he's at. This is what. Okay, this is your latest Goliath. There'll be another one in 2 days. So let us come update us.
Well, I can understand why the individual might have run.
Yeah, we love Frank. He's one of our favorite trolls.
Well, I totally forgot the topic I had on mine. That conversation just totally.
Did you go on any
cleaned up.
panels last night? Did anything happen in the? I didn't really dip into the
I was
panel.
on flows till I passed out.
Oh,
I was so damn tired. No, I fell asleep, woke up. Good thing I had my camera off. But yeah, I finally had to call it a night. I couldn't sit there anymore. It was taking some strange turns in the conversation. Yeah.
Oh, who was on? With who?
Mr. Pie.
Oh yeah, Pie always takes strange turns with Pie.
And I forget who he was having a conversation with, and it just was totally strange. Yeah, I don't know. He seems a little lost to me, but I could be wrong.
Well, doesn't he grow weed? Is he a weed farmer?
That might be the problem.
Yeah, that's my first Occam's razor assumption.
I mean, you talk about two individuals that shouldn't get along but do get along. That's like me and Flo. I don't know how we manage to get along, but we do, because we're on such opposite ends of certain spectrums of thoughts, but yet we're able to maintain a decent relationship. Not that hard if two people try.
I have no issues with Flo.
Did you watch Mortal Kombat? I didn't even see it last night.
Verbal Combat? No. I dipped in and out of it. iPhi was on. Dave, Adam. Remember Adam Dahl, who debated the death of the author with us? He's the one that won. He does a really good job.
Yeah, I remember him. Yeah, it's cool. Cool guy.
In fact, I think iPhi was one of the people he was arguing with, and he handled him like a master.
You mean iPhi didn't get tossed early?
With the knives that
iPhi, in iPhi's world, iPhi never loses any debate or conversation. Though he's never lost a debate, he's never been wrong.
But you have iPhi that's here for debate and normal, and you have iPhi that's here for psychological issues, and it's hard to separate which one he's engaged in at any given time.
Hi, I'm Dave.
Hello.
Hi, you're Dave.
Verbal Combat was pretty fun.
I gotta leave.
No.
What do y'all have beef?
I didn't. If I do have beef with Chuck, I was completely unaware. I don't think I've ever had a bad interaction with him.
I was making reference to when iPhi came up. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it was a joke because earlier PF Jung jumped off the panel as soon as I quite showed up. It was just funny.
Oh, gotcha. I missed the whole beginning of this. I've been running around.
That's why you didn't get it.
Yep. Sorry.
It was the iPhi.
I was like, shit, what did I do?
Oh, I was just trying to lighten the mood, all.
Oh, no, you're good. I don't mind.
How'd it go?
Oh
last
yeah.
night?
Oh, iPhi says he lost a debate once. I didn't know that. So I guess we're
yeah,
all
when he
wrong.
got called a grand wizard. When he got deemed the grand wizard by the end of it, I'd say he lost.
Don't forget bootlicker.
Well, no, that's what you keep calling me.
No, they called me bootlicker on one of the.
Well, I mean, you kind of are. You're more authoritarian than the authoritarians.
I find that to be true.
You want to stop people from associating with each other.
Dave, do you even know what a libertarian is?
You were policing
No.
Chris's purity, like capitalist purity. Like Chris, I don't find your capitalism pure enough. It's mixed with socialistic.
Apparently, what I thought libertarian is, I was wrong.
Okay, one more time, Dave.
I don't
care. Nah, I don't know if you know what a libertarian is.
I know better than anyone. Even
I think
Dave
you're wrong.
Smith.
I think you might know what a conservatarian is, but I don't think you know what a libertarian is.
That's
the only reason you know what a conservatarian is because you made it the fuck up.
That's right. And so half of conservatarian is libertarian. That's part of it, the definition.
Sure.
So libertarians want small government, Dave. That's the definition of a libertarian.
Well, that's what I said. And if that was all that, but there's more to it, obviously.
Obviously,
if that's all it boiled down to, then yes, I would be a libertarian. I do hold those views. But there's obviously more than that I was not understanding. Like the anarchism of it, I'm not for.
Libertarian. That's not libertarian. That's anarchist.
Doesn't matter. But then when the points are brought up, you tend to agree with the anarchist of, no, you shouldn't be able to restrict somebody from masturbating in their front yard across the street from small children. That's messed up. That's something that should be stopped. You're like, no, that should be perfectly fine. Can't back that. If that's the libertarian standard, I can't back that.
Yeah, my understanding of libertarian was always this. This is the simplest definition. Libertarian is a belief that in a society where anyone can do whatever they want as long as it does not hurt or impact anyone else negatively. That's always like it's if you want to do drugs you want to do drugs, you want to hurt yourself by taking illegal drugs drugs that are going to hurt you, then that's perfectly fine because it's your body and you can do what you want to your own body as long as you're not forcing other people to take those drugs. Then you're not doing anything harmful to anyone else. Therefore it should be legal. That was always the understanding I understood of libertarianism. It was about you have the liberty to do what you want as long as you're not infringing on other people's liberty.
She left again.
My problem is, what if you're sharing your body with another individual?
What if you get behind?
At that point,
then both people have to be consenting. Obviously, then it's still fine.
All right, so you can only have abortions if the fetus consents. I'm down. I like this.
I'm not pro-abortion, so I guess. I mean, I'm fine. I'm fine with everybody else having abortions, just not for my family. So
this is why I don't know. There are certain things that put me at odds with pretty much every stated political stance.
I think that's healthy.
And
me too.
I agree. I prefer to just not pick a political group and stay centrist and pick the things that are more important to me at the moment. Like.
My views evolve and change over time, and they're supposed to keep evolving and changing as I grow and get older until I die, and I hope they always do. So
where'd iPhi go again?
I don't know.
I know he got scared off by a common sense definition of libertarianism. So
I don't think he wanted to defend that again.
He didn't defend it the first
You can't.
time.
Yeah, exactly, because you can't. You can't defend it. It's disgusting no matter how you do it. If you want to allow it, there's no way to do that.
Well,
without admitting that you just don't care.
I mean, in a libertarian sense, what I always understood, no, you could not masturbate on your front lawn in front of children, no, because that is affecting the children negatively.
Well,
so you're infringing on their liberty. So
well, he says you're not allowed to tell somebody what they can do on their property, because in libertarianism, property rights are a huge part of it. That small government goes all the way down to your own home. Your home should be decided by you. At least by iPhi standards. I don't know if that's everybody. I'm cutting
but
out.
What are these people wanting to do that they want this right to do what they want on their property? What? Why are they fighting so hard for that right? What is it they feel like they can't already do that they need this?
They just want to have control of their area, is my assumption. That's my good faith interpretation. They want to have control.
I must admit,
like they can do everything on their property that the rest of us do. They can barbecue, have parties, whatever. They can't do lawn darts. What else are they? What else do they feel like they can't do? That this is a political agenda.
Well, you know, like they can't murder. They can't murder and they can't rape people. And they can't do these things, and they should be able to do it on their own property because it's their property. You know, like why can't I do it?
Not good enough for like what? That has me suspicious right there.
Wait, what? You're saying I can't have my child sacrificing ritual? Like, it's on my property. This is my property. I can have it if I want to. All right, it's that kind of mentality, I guess. It's
pretty much
weird.
But iPhi did say that Jeff wasn't allowed to have certain people visit his property.
Yeah. Which he is telling you what you can and can't do on your property.
From the compound, I would have to go outside of the little community to even communicate with him.
Yep.
Well, he said you would need permission, didn't he?
No. He said you would not be able to do it not on his compound.
None. Every single.
The fact that he has a compound at all, let's just admit, anybody has a compound already suspect. It's already in a bad category. If you've got a compound, there's probably something wrong with what you want to do. I'm just saying, like I've never. Have you ever heard of
pretty good point?
Have you ever heard of anybody going to a compound and thinking that's a good thing? That sounds like a good time.
Really, Chris, what's the tree? Let's define the tree as opposed to the compound.
And then burn it. And look at the smoke.
But do we burn the tree?
I feel like I'm becoming more and more authoritarian by the day. It's what I stated on the Verbal Combat last night, and if libertarianism is restricting my ability to socialize with whoever I want, because I don't care. I want to socialize with more people that I disagree with than people that I do agree with, because that makes for much more entertaining conversations.
That's the
for
only
myself.
Way it's the only way you get to learn and grow. You don't get to learn and grow by spending time with people who exclusively think, act, and do everything the same way you do them. That just puts you in a bubble. It's an echo chamber, and like it all, and all it does is get louder and louder until all you hear is static. It's just not. It can't be. I mean, like I've never in my whole life I've never sought out people that were exactly like me. I had people that were open-minded in the same way I was, that wanted to talk about things, that were interested in some of the same things I was, but not people that were just like me. I wanted people that were, like you want to find people that are kind of like in your kind of category, but different. You want people that have different thoughts and different ideas. You want to learn from those things. I don't.
You want to stimulate your brain.
Yeah. Well, it's not even just that. Like you want to challenge your axioms. Like you don't want to just rest on your laurels and say, "I'm right about everything." Cool. My worldview is the best. You want to know what's wrong with your worldview, where the weak points are. Like, I was challenged and I realized I didn't really understand what libertarianism is if it's what other people say it is. What it was to me is not what these people consider libertarianism.
Same here.
So I will never consider myself a libertarian again. I may have called myself that in the past, but due to
it's been a pretty cringe label for a while. I think libertarian's been a pretty cringe label for a while because of the Libertarian Party has just beclowned themselves on so many occasions that they're just
cool people. Like every single one of the libertarians I know are really cool people. I like them.
But the Libertarian Party, they're the people they have tried to run for president and stuff. They've just been cringe as fuck.
So the government is trying to stop me from speaking.
Yeah, I'm sure that's exactly what I knew that's what you were going to come back and say. Something to the effect of.
No, I believe it, because if I has a chance to talk, he's not just going to give it up.
Because of my shitty internet keeps crashing on me. But anyways,
maybe you should get better internet.
I'm working on it, Dave.
Is it because it's at your compound?
DSL? Yes, it's in
it's in my trailer. I've got a squirrel running my router, and sometimes he gets tired. So
56K isn't really K anymore.
So, anyways, Dave, what I was saying was, what was I saying? Libertarian. Oh, the reason why you hear me.
All the stuff we were saying about you.
I missed everything you just said. Did you already cover it all?
Probably, yeah.
Okay.
You missed all the stuff we were saying about you.
We solved all the world's problems, and you weren't here. So
if I'm just repeating anything, to say skip. Okay. So the reason why it sounds like I'm always agreeing with anarchists is because in theory I agree with 99.99% of what they're saying. Like ideologically, I am more of an anarchist than a libertarian. So the only reason why I profess to be a libertarian now is because after 20 years of debating politics on the internet, I've come to the realization that anarchy is a pipe dream. It won't work in reality.
Correct.
Well,
and so
is conservatarianism.
No, hold on. We'll get there, Dave. Just one step at a time. So the reason why I'm a libertarian is because I agree. I conceded the argument, and I agree with them. Because of all the evil retards in the world, we need government, period. There's no way around that problem. So I disagree with anarchists because it's a pipe dream. I agree with their ideology. It's good on paper. It's not good in reality. In reality, I agree with libertarians because we can get shit done. We can create a small government, we can control it, and we'll still be good. I don't like it, but I'll concede to the fact that that's what we got to do. Anyways, that's libertarian. Libertarians is the opposite end of the spectrum. So the opposing team says, no, we need kings and bureaucracies to run civilization. Humans shouldn't be trusted with freedom because you're too stupid to think for yourselves, which they're mostly true. But some of us have brains, and that's why we are libertarians, because we don't need the government to tell us how to dress and what words to think and stuff like that. So that's the battle. The battle between authoritarians and libertarians is they think from the opposite end of the spectrum how much the government should control your life. Like they think it should control everything.
So you want the rules for the rest of society, but not for you?
No, I want even playing field for everyone, even the retards who aren't good at taking care of themselves. So
Yeah, and the even playing field is we all have laws that we must abide by.
No, Dave. It's not even. It's not even when the whole system's already rigged against you.
It's not though.
Oh yes, it is.
How is it rigged?
It's not rigged against me.
What's the rig?
Well, for starters, if I want to,
don't give me. I'm poor, so I can't.
If I want to
murder somebody and get away with it.
If I want to grow some food and feed myself, why is the government entitled to 40% of my crops?
So it's about tax. It's about tax.
If you're feeding yourself, no. If you're feeding yourself out of a home garden, no.
Yes,
they're not taxing your consumption. Growing and consuming your own food is not taxed.
If you grow a watermelon, the government's not going to come by and take 40% of your watermelon. They're just not going to do that.
Hey, Dave, is the government taxing the land my vegetables are growing on?
Sure, but they're not taxing the vegetables. I have no problem
with them doing that. I hope they keep taxing it.
I can't even grow vegetables. Just having land, I have to pay rent to the government.
No shit.
To exist.
Yes.
Move somewhere where it's unclaimed.
Part of ownership. That's part of ownership.
You already say no shit like it's a given that all
it's a given.
Should pay rent to the king.
Yes.
Okay.
For one, even if you take it all the way down back to a Christian narrative, even Jesus said, "Render unto Caesar what is his." So no matter what narrative you go by of why you should have freedom on the land,
did Jesus say Caesar is the only option? You have to pay the government money. There's no other choice.
That's why that is how I read. Just like everybody will say, everybody has their own reading of the Bible. We'll go with the way I read it. Just to caveat that is that. Whoever owns the land, you render onto them what is due to them.
Okay, Dave, I'll make a deal with you then.
To be fair, Jesus did pull his tax money out of a fish's mouth, so
based. So well, hey, how about if that's just an allegory saying he sold his fish to make the money to pay the
I
government.
agree with that. I agree with that interpretation.
I agree, and government should get half of your
funny.
fish. I agree. We should give government half the fish.
I'm curious, is it the rate of tax? And if it were lower,
it's the principle and the rate, Jeff. It's all of the things.
So there's no rate that would ultimately satisfy you.
It's the principle, Jeff. Principles are important.
In iPhi's world,
rate that would ultimately satisfy me.
Everybody's just going to voluntarily give up part of their money to upkeep roads that they're not driving on every day.
I would, but I'm a weirdo anyway. So.
In iPhi's world, private people own stuff and pay for the services that they want to take part in.
In your world, everybody just makes the right decision every time.
Yep.
The decision that's for the better of humanity.
And if they make bad
decisions,
that's exactly like Lib's version of
exactly
communism.
You have to change it so everybody is a better person. So it has to be a magical fairyland in order for your style of government to work.
And in Dave's world, the emperor is going to make laws that makes everyone good, and that's why people are good, because the emperor said
no, it doesn't make them good,
laws say you're
but
good.
It keeps them accountable for their evils.
Right, and you have to monitor their.
You can't make people less evil by
sure you can
just wishing and hoping.
That's why we have.
It doesn't make people less.
Such a leftist assumption.
That's what you have. That's why you have a monopoly on violence.
Again, laws aren't to make people
to be good,
violence is
less
not there.
evil.
A monopoly.
It's to inflict the punishment or a retributive result from the evil that is done, whether it's.
I'm confused.
Making them pay for a crime.
Are we talking about iPhi or Lib now?
I don't know.
We're talking the harsh.
They're way more alike in their view sets than they want to admit to each other.
I feel like I'm talking to Lib suddenly. This is exactly is exactly what Lib says. This is exactly what Lib says.
They're both authoritarians. They both love preventing you from doing what you want.
No, actually, the only thing we agree on is libertarians. Lib is a libertarian, by the way. I don't know if you've ever listened to any of his words.
No, Lib isn't a libertarian.
He is.
Yeah, he is. I actually listened to his words.
He's so far to the left.
Chuck, libertarian is not left or right.
Isn't he an anarchist
on the compass
as well?
You can't take any label from Lib as what you think it means, because he redefines every single thing for himself.
And so does iPhi, so they are exactly the same.
It's the Lib version of anarchy. He's a communist, but it's the Lib version of communism.
Now, Lib will give different
just like
definitions every time the sentence changes.
Hey, EmpDave, if I sent you a chart, would you agree that words have meaning?
No.
Would you accept those?
You can send me the words do have meaning.
Okay.
Sure. I never said that they don't.
Sweet.
He comes over here and creates all kind of straw man.
He says weird things that are obvious. Yes, words have meanings.
Okay, hold on.
Hence why we have dictionaries.
Exactly.
We wouldn't have a dictionary if words didn't have meanings.
Okay, hold on, just give me a second.
Specific meaning.
But meanings aren't necessarily static.
Yes, they have to be for this conversation.
No, they're not though.
For this conversation.
Definitions are societally driven.
For this conversation.
I don't care about for this conversation. I'm talking about the definition of words,
then I can't
the existence of words.
If you can't handle this conversation, then I can't.
I can handle this conversation. I'm just explaining to you that there are differences.
Okay.
What is considered left of center today in 10 years will no longer be left of center or vice versa.
No.
The right has moved left. The Overton window has shifted.
No, Dave. No. You're getting into the weeds of politics. We're just talking about
I'm explaining to you how definitions can change.
Do you see the chart, Dave?
Sure, I see a chart. I see your chart.
Okay, so on the left is socialism, and on
there's
the right,
more that you're missing off that
Put
chart.
that up full screen there, Jeff, if you could.
On the left is socialism, and on the right is capitalism.
Yeah.
Has that changed over the past 10,000 years?
Sure.
No. The left is socialism, the right is capitalism.
Changed.
No. The definition
depends what country you're in.
Capitalism is pretty bipartisan.
No. The words have not changed. The countries have moved around the chart. The words never changed, Dave. It's the same words.
No, some of these are weird words that I've never even heard of.
Okay.
So I don't trust you. I don't trust you. There's fake words on your chart.
EmpDave, ignore all the words and just put one word on each side. On the right side is capitalism, and on the left side is socialism.
I understand where you're going, and it's authoritarianism versus anarchism.
Okay,
I understand this part of the chart.
Okay, so the top.
But I don't believe where you're putting things is where they belong.
And the bottom is anarchy. Are you with me so far?
Sure.
Okay.
Wait, so libertarian is more towards authoritarian than anarchism?
Look at the box that says
I'm looking at where it says libertarian on your chart, and it's up. And you said up is authoritarian.
Yes, it's more authoritarian than anarchy, Dave. If you're using anarchy as the standard.
No, I'm literally using the center versus where libertarian is on your chart.
Do you see where it says libertarian capitalism, libertarianism? The blue.
Yes,
the dark
yes,
blue
I
the
do.
Bottom right corner. The bottom right
What's
corner.
in the very middle? Is it
Apparently, libertarian takes up the entire map.
The middle is liberalism, Chris. It's just centrism.
Liberal. Okay, I can't read it. That's all.
Yeah, it's hard to read.
Make it full screen, Jeff.
But what I don't understand is how is libertarian more authoritarian? Oh, sorry, that says authoritarian. I couldn't read it. I was reading that authoritarian.
That's why I said make it full screen.
Liberalism. You're saying liberalism is clear, but I disagree that liberalism is closer to authoritarianism.
I know. These are fuzzy words.
Wait, hold on. You're also defining liberalism as center.
It's not.
Liberalism is definitely not center.
I define it as center.
Who made this chart that you're looking at?
It's just one of many failed charts. I can make it.
Okay, exactly. You made the chart. Got it.
I did not make this chart. I borrowed it off of the internet because it was the closest enough for a discussion.
Well, I don't believe liberalism is the center.
Okay. Dave.
Liberalism in it.
Well, you got to start with the center of your chart. If the center of your chart, it's going to shift where everything is going to be.
Dave, just call the center centrism. I don't give a shit. I don't care.
But it's not. Your chart's wrong.
So on the right is capitalism. On the left is socialism.
Yeah, this chart.
Those words?
I agree with Jonathan.
What did Jonathan say?
This chart's gay.
Okay, I agree. It's gay.
Not that there's anything wrong with gay. Gay's great.
Yeah, I agree.
I just think it's funny.
It's not even gay.
Okay, so I agree.
So let's not insult gays like that.
Exactly. That's why I had to caveat that real quick. I'm not anti-gay in any way, but.
Okay. So anyways, you don't even need the chart. I was just using a visual illustration so people know where they're moving on the compass, because people try to conflate terms all the time. So
no, I understand what left.
Okay.
Right, and
okay. Good.
Up and down is a little more loosely defined, but go for it.
That's fine. As long as you understand that they're opposing forces. One team is authoritarian, the other team is anarchy.
Sure.
Right.
Okay, on the very edge of anarchy is libertarian. It's like one step towards authoritarian.
It depends who's it.
Not if what you describe is a representation of a libertarian society. Not if your little commune project is representative.
You guys can do more research into the whole ideology of it if you want to.
See, I can't be wrong. You guys are just unresearched.
Because I've been debating this for 20 years. And
I don't give a fuck how long you've been debating it. It doesn't make you right. Just because you've been wrong for 20 years doesn't mean you're not still wrong today.
And I've argued with everyone's definition of these terms. And so this is where I have landed on this chart. So,
okay, exactly. So after everything, definitions don't matter. iPhi's opinion matters. Got it.
Exactly.
Got it. Okay.
Okay, so anarchy is the bottom. That's no government. The next step up is a little government. Which is
be careful when you're saying government, because an anarchist will say no state, but they're still pro-government.
I'll treat those synonymously, Dave. State is government in my world.
We have now. You're being disingenuous.
Yeah, I thought we agreed.
But I thought definitions matter.
Yeah, definitions mattered. So I mean,
You-
so definitions only
So,
matter
well,
if they're the
Dave,
definitions
when I
you
say
agree with.
when I say they're equal, that means you can pick whichever one you want. You can call it state.
That's
you can
not
call
how
it government.
definitions work.
But that's not how it
That's
works.
not how definitions work.
You don't get to pick what definition you
can't
use.
change definition.
Okay, then I'll say both for everyone's hurt feelings in the room.
There's no hurt feelings here. We're
so
literally just confounded by how.
Anarchist
I'm
is
just
no
So
state.
it's okay. When
no
he's
government.
wrong, he has to go to an emotional argument and be like, "Oh, if you disagree with me, you must be being emotional. I can't be wrong. You're obviously operating off of emotion, which is gay, and I can't deal with that because I might be."
Anarchy is
And that's not
We had
good.
that conversation before, too.
anarchy is no state, no government.
What?
Yeah, it's on one of the streets.
That's funny as hell.
This is a very productive
He insisted-
conversation.
I'm not
I'm
trying to be
having a
productive
gay
at the
conversation
moment. Certain things that you're
giving it-
saying
Mission accomplished.
are annoying, so I'm having fun.
Mission accomplished. Anyways, so this is why I get irritated and become an
And this
asshole.
is why you're not getting your voice
Well,
back.
then get
agree.
irritated and be an asshole.
Okay,
It's more fun.
now I'm an asshole. Okay,
That didn't
retard.
sound
So
fun at all. That doesn't sound like we.
anarchists are no state and no government.
If you're gonna say
and then-
we, say it with your chest.
And then one state, one step up is some state or some government is libertarian. We don't want a big government or a big state. We just want the small minimum
but
requirement.
your state
Okay.
is bigger than what we have now. It's more restrictive with more authoritarian.
You're also using a different definition of big versus little government. Usually big versus small government isn't about how much it's used, it's about where it's located.
Size and power is what I'm saying. Small and big.
But that's not how it's used when referred to a style of government. When we say big government, that means
That's how I'm
overarching,
using
like
it.
federal, like what makes the bigger decision.
That's how I'm using
What
it.
covers a larger area. Well, then you're not using the real definitions. You're making up your own definitions,
Yeah,
as
we
I
might as
stated from the beginning,
We might as well.
which is the problem.
We might as well call like something like governmentarianism and just make up a whole.
Would you
a
like
whole
a
new
Google
slew of words,
definition?
you
Would
know,
that
and just
help?
make up a whole bunch of new words and just making up new definitions
No, I'd
for them
rather like
because
a Merriam-Webster or something.
Okay, Dave.
Google.
According to Google, an advocate or supporter of political philosophy that advocates only minimal state intervention in the free market and the private lives of citizens. That's libertarian.
Okay.
A person who advocates civil liberty. So that's it. That's the definition.
Define
Okay.
civil liberty.
that's yeah.
You ask Google, that it's their definition.
Well, you. Okay, never mind.
Civil. Okay, we
Because
can say
my
if you-
definitions
civil
don't
means
count,
civil.
Dave.
Civil
They
typically
don't
is
if you're
civil-
making it yourself.
A civil action is typically something that is in the better interest of the overall society. So a civil action would be an action that is a civil society is one that is a society that's working typically in incongruity in order for everyone to have the best possible outcomes that they can, based on laws and stuff like that. So I mean, it's really this is silly. Like, what are we even like? Why are we going over the basic terms of like we already understand all this stuff? Like, what is it that you're trying to get across? Just get to the point. Skip to the end.
I already did. I defined the definition for Dave because he doesn't know what a
Oh, you
libertarian
failed.
is.
Goodbye.
You are the weakest link. Goodbye.
Anyways,
I'm not just trying to be intentionally difficult. Yes, some of what I'm doing is being intentionally difficult because you making up your own definitions of this stuff is really frustrating to me.
We'll just use
But
Google's
Lib does the
definition.
same thing. Like
I
a lot of
agree.
people do that on here.
Yeah.
I agree. Let's just use Google's definition.
Sure.
Okay, that's what a libertarian is. That's me. I still agree. Yeah.
Okay, what happens after this? Because I feel like we've had this conversation.
Oh, the reason why I came back, by the way, was because Chris made a false statement, which I wish to correct. So
do so. And
That you never yeah, I never heard you admit that you lost a debate before. So that wasn't
that's
it
the
was-
statement. That's
it was,
the statement.
It was yes, I understand that I apparently was
False.
wrong, but I've never heard you make that
False.
admission. So
False.
So you
Okay.
had to.
when have
come up
you
here
made that
just-
admission to me before?
No, I didn't admit it to you, but I've admitted it to the internet.
Well, see, I was misinformed. I was
internet.
not fully informed, but I had never heard you make a single admission that you were wrong in any
Okay,
anything ever. So
I will tell you the one time I lost a debate.
The
So
one time.
get ready for this. Okay.
I'm putting seatbelts on my ears because I'm ready for the ride of my life.
Okay,
Come on,
I was debating a pro-murder person versus a pro-life debate. So, the pro-murder person didn't like the fact.
Abortion or just murder?
Oh yeah, he's going real wordsmithy with his with the words that he's choosing right now.
Does the baby get a choice in this?
I'm just saying, but in
do you want to tell your story?
Legal societal definition.
I'm quote unquote pro-life, but I'm gonna give the easiest, most respectful way of saying things. Like, I'll say pro-abortion. I won't say pro-murder. Like, that's a way of saying it, but it's better. And I will call myself anti-abortion.
Yeah, I will too.
And that's pretty much what it is.
And by the way, and somebody mentioned the thing I said earlier. By the way, whoever it was that was commenting on that, that was just a mean joke. It just aimed at liberals.
I agree. Some people are word salads, and
you're just loading the language is what.
Okay, happening. So I'm also running out of voice. I'm also running out of voice.
But nonetheless, let's get to it. You were having a
pro-life debate.
Pro-life debate.
Okay. So my opponent pointed out to me a flaw in my argument because I pointed out that the moment of conception is when human life begins. And so terminating human life is murder. And so the person pointed out to me that then I must be against birth control. And I looked at that person very confused, and I said, "What are you talking about? I'm okay with birth control. I'm just against abortion." And that person educated me that birth control does not prevent conception. It simply triggers miscarriages. So, in fact, birth control is a form of abortion.
No, it's not.
I'll let him keep going.
It's literally not how birth control works.
Let him cook.
That's literally how it works. My dad's
the other person was wrong.
Gynecologist. My dad's a gynecologist. I researched it
myself. That's how Plan B works.
Yeah, my uncle worked for Nintendo, and I had all the codes when I was a kid. Okay,
I looked it up myself and confirmed it. So
then why are you talking about that your dad was a gynecologist? Why does that matter if you looked up yourself?
Because he confirmed it.
You're using an appeal to authority that doesn't even apply because you just said I looked it up. So you're saying what your dad said had nothing to do with
both, Emperor Dave, because you're not listening to.
I am listening. I'm picking up the thing that you said last, which was
not only did a gynecologist confirm this, I personally confirmed it myself with my own research and confirmed that it is true. So, anyways,
well, maybe there are forms of birth control that do work that way, but that is not the way.
Most of the common form known as birth control. Most of the
birth control.
The pill, Chris.
The one they take every day. It does not trigger miscarriages.
Yes, it does.
Because if you don't get impregnated,
yes, it does.
You still shed the eggs the same way.
It doesn't prevent conception. It only prevents attachment to the uterus, which is a miscarriage.
No.
Anyways, this is the debate I lost because I always thought growing up that birth control prevents conception.
So the only debate you ever lost, you were still wrong about. The only debate you ever lost was the one you were actually winning because you were right in the first place.
No, you're wrong. You're wrong. Look it up. You
were right in the first place, and that's the one you think you lost. This is the stupidest thing I've ever heard.
So, Chris,
this is his way of trying to take an L on something that he didn't.
I lost the debate because I was.
Joshua Jones was the same way.
So anyways, I firmly believed I was right in that debate because I was lecturing him about the morality. I had the higher moral position of promoting birth control use because I thought that prevents conception.
I think he's derailing just to try to sound smarter than he is.
Ovulation.
So anyways, I learned something new that day, Chris. I was wrong.
You're wrong.
I admitted I was wrong.
Now.
And I
You're
learned
wrong now. You're right in the first place.
So that means he's losing this debate. Yay!
I mean, this is like.
Wait.
You know what?
Talking
themselves out of a compliment or something.
I figured it out. everything's reversed in his head because he actually was winning the debate on that day and then left.
Oh,
that's the only way he loses. So he's only won one debate.
You're saying
he's reverse logicked it.
That's right. I've only won one debate my entire life, Dave. That's true.
Hormones stop ovulation. Without ovulation,
have you ever seen the movie Kung Pao
where
they have this guy like they say they trained him wrong so that he thinks when he's losing he thinks he's winning, like like we trained him wrong as a joke, and like every time he gets kicked in the face he's like, haha, that means I am winning. That's what the heck iPhi is. He thinks when he gets kicked in the face, it's like this means I have blood on my face, therefore I am the victor.
Chris, what movie are we watching today?
Let's watch. I was thinking what was that? There was something on the since you still have the Apple TV thing. There was something on the Apple TV thing that looked interesting. What was it?
Severance?
Severance. Yeah, we should check out Severance. Let's watch the first episode of that and see if it's good.
I hear good.
Anyways, I just wanted to correct you, Chris. I did lose one debate, so
well.
For the
You
record.
lost 2 now.
I'm also going to make a statement. I have never won a debate.
I don't. Yeah, I don't even have debates really. I don't even try to debate. I just try to have conversations.
Exactly.
Anyway,
I've never tried to debate somebody to win, unless it's like in jest. If I'm just taking a point and they're taking a point and we're just going back and forth to try to. Because I will have debates with friends that we'll just take a point. We don't necessarily have any strong views on it, but we'll debate back and forth and research as we go to try to learn more. It's fun. It's a fun way to learn, to be honest.
It is a good. I mean, like I said, conflict is healthy. Like there's a healthy kind of conflict that you can have, and
How do
Chris
you
was
come
trying to
up
help
to
me.
win a debate, to lose a debate, to try to win a debate?
I don't know.
I mean,
I feel like I just went through like an Inception type thing, I feel like I was like a dream inside a dream inside a dream inside a dream kind of thing. Like
it's an iPhi story inside an iPhi debate.
I literally just went and looked it up.
It's
the hormones in birth control stops ovulation. Without ovulation, you produce no eggs. Without eggs, you don't get pregnant.
Yeah. I know.
I
don't know nothing about birth and no babies.
My mother used birth control. My sisters have used birth control. My wife uses birth control. I'm very aware of how birth control works because I've been around women my whole life, and I've what'd you say?
I'm speechless.
I feel dumber all of a sudden.
I feel like I just came out of like some
that's
sort
the
of
iPhi effect.
Yeah, I really feel like I came out of some sort of.
How long does it take to wear off, Dave?
The next day.
That was like a Kafka-esque. That was a Kafka-esque. Like,
it depends.
Like
there are cures for it. You just have to surround yourself with people who make good points and back them up properly.
Is there withdrawal symptoms?
No. To be honest, the longer you're away from it, the better.
As long as there's no long-term side effects, I'm happy.
I just like challenging loose opinions, that's all. I feel bad sometimes because I might go too far, but I do enjoy it.
That one was a no-brainer.
I think. Well, me and Jeff a long time ago, we talked when we first started talking and started streaming and stuff. Like we talked about doing a role playing version of being like a socialist or a communist dictator type thing where where we'd like throw scenarios at them and they'd have to in order to see how fucked up it is, the whole concept of how it always goes down to the authoritarian route, that type of stuff. And I think I came up last night. I think I finally came up with a way of doing it in a way that'll work in a panel format. So so look out for that. I think this one will actually be pretty easy to put together. I think it'd be fun for anybody to. It should be like a fun, fast like a fast version of an RPG, like a paper and dice role playing game, but kind of a cross with that in a game show kind of thing. I think I've got a pretty good idea. I think it'll be just kind of fun. We'll just create we'll do a little very small world building and so we'll have like things like we'll have situations like that where we can go through we can speed run debates basically.
Sounds fun.
Well, you want to wrap it up and
I'll go ahead and bail.
Get to our
Thanks for your help on that, Dave.
No problem. I have fun. I'm just glad I'm glad it took off.
Crazy.
I had no idea what I was popping onto. I don't think that's what you guys were probably talking about at all. But
no, to every episode is an adventure. Even the ones that we try to plan. So like it doesn't even matter. Like we can't. There's no way to control how these things go.
Paul to come on this morning.
One of my favorite things about popping up here is just I never know what to expect.
That's what
always fun.
That's what we're going for.
Yeah, that's what we're going for. And it is even when it's frustrating, it's still fun.
Yeah,
it's still
yeah, and you have to be the right kind of person for that kind of thing to be fun. And I really am. I love just randomly talking about anything and getting in arguments.
Me too. You're in the right place. Keep coming back.
Especially when they're accidentally hilarious.
Yeah, 100%.
I'm gonna have to go back. I'm gonna have to go back and clip that section and repost it as its own as a standalone clip to put up on my channel or something like that. I think we need that.
Hell yeah.
That'll
also help with your watch time hours, because I found out live streams don't really count towards watch time hours.
They don't.
It doesn't seem that way. And when I sent it to
you mean does it count if people go back and watch them?
Yes.
But
people watch them after the fact, but not while it's live.
Yeah, I actually knew that. I did actually knew that.
Apparently, there's a way to convert it, but I can't figure it out. I've tried to research it, but I can't find it. They say you have to archive it and turn it into a VOD. I don't know exactly what that means, because I've tried it multiple ways, and it still doesn't seem to be converting the views.
Well, yeah, I don't know. We don't get many live viewers anyway. Most of our viewers are usually, for whatever reason, are actually after we post after the live thing is over. I guess it's good. I mean, it always surprises me.
So
I would expect it to go
after they qualify.
Unfortunately for me, all of my views are live.
You need to give your chat.
Well, that's because you can't leave your stuff up. You can't leave your stuff up.
Well, hang on.
True.
Dennis, what are you talking about? I want to address this. I do give my chat. What chat are you talking about? The panel or the comments? I give both of them. I'm pretty good at giving my opinion on things.
Usually when he's answering chat, though, he'll do it through text in chat.
Yeah, I try to answer as many comments as I can.
Thing. It was like watching, like iPhi was coming from a very childish place, and there was a more like sophisticated place to address it. And he demonstrated that he could do it, but for some reason he has a preference for the childish approach. That's
I was also being very juvenile in the way I was attacking.
I do not feel that is the case. I do not feel that is the case. You're making sense.
I don't know.
To me.
I'm sorry you feel that way. I don't.
I'll freely admit I did go a little bit. I wasn't letting him get the words out sometimes, and I could have been, but
well.
I just have that kind of fun with iPhi because I know it frustrates.
We have all like just gone silent and let iPhi get the words
out. Hang on. Hang on.
Yeah.
Hey, stop.
Good.
Can we pause iPhi for a while? I'm tired of him taking over my show. I want to address these issues that are coming in about the channel, and I don't want iPhi to take priority over this.
Sure. No, I mean, I personally, I try to answer as many.
Let's just go straight to this. Let's just move on and go straight to this.
That's what I'm doing. I'm talking about them.
Okay. I don't know what he's talking about. If this, hang on. Can I say what I'm trying to say, and then we can address it, please? If this channel is not what you're coming here for, go find the ones that are. I'm not going to be all things to all people. There are people that come here and are getting whatever they come here for and getting something out of it. So that's kind of what this is set up for. I don't know what you're talking about, what I'm even supposed to do with it. I interact with commenters all the time. I post comments all the time. People are welcome to come on the panel. So I don't know what you're talking about. But if it's not to your liking, then there's plenty other panels that might be. Okay.
Well said.
Well, we were wrapping up anyway, so we might as well.
Okay. Remember, Dave, 9 out of 10 gynecologists recommend libertarianism in order to avoid having babies.
That'll be your. Go ahead.
We'll catch y'all later. Have a good one.
Take care. Good to see you.
Later, Chuck.
Ooh, hang on. All right, Dave. Go ahead.
Bye. I'm Dave.
Thanks for stopping by.
Later. Anytime. Have a good one.
All right, and then we're head. I have to run to the stove, and then that'll be like half an hour or so. And then we're to the Discord to watch Severance, I believe, and who knows what else. We never know what we're going to end up watching, but we always start with something.
Yeah, well,
So
we're gonna check
if you
something
want
out.
to join
So.
us there, look for us in the Discord or contact one of us for the invite.
And Mr. Bigfoot, all I can say is I try to respond to anything whenever people are directing stuff at me, but I don't. I sometimes when we're caught up in the actual debate stuff, it's hard to keep track of the chats all the time. That's the main thing, man. It's just like
if you really want to like me to respond to, just get my attention. Just say, "Hey, Jeff."
Yeah, or directed at Chris or Jeff or something like that, and I'll definitely respond to it every time.
Because a lot of it, especially when you have multiple people on the stream, there's a lot going on. There's 6 or 7 people talking, and there's comments, and my brain is keeping with all of that. So I don't always hit every single point.
Like I literally I am in awe of how people with like that have hundreds of live viewers and like they have those chats that are just like they're just running like a freaking stock ticker all the time, just scrolling by. So I don't understand how they even
you can do that. You're the one that said you're not coming on the panel anyway because you don't agree with me. So I don't even know what you complain. You're on somebody's channel that you already don't agree with and are not going to ever come on. So yeah, unsub if you want and go to a channel that's more to your liking. And if you ever want to come back, come back. All right. So we're going to head to the Discord and be back tomorrow. So
yeah. All right.
Take care.